dengan device-nya sebelum webinar hari ini kita mulai.
Kata orang, mengejar passion itu seru, sampai bikin kita lupa waktu. Aktivitas yang padat, kesibukan yang tidak menentu, membuat banyak orang tidak punya waktu untuk berolahraga, sehingga berpikir kalau sehat itu mahal. Belum lagi pola makan asal-asalan, stres karena kerjaan, dan cara olahraga yang nggak benar. Tips hidup sehat itu banyak, tapi pastikan informasinya benar dan terpercaya. Kalau masih kurang paham, kan bisa bertanya sama ahlinya. Hidup sehat itu sebenarnya gampang, tapi jangan asal-asalan. Buka daya.id sekarang dan mulai jalankan gaya hidup sehat. Kata orang, bikin usaha sendiri itu seru dan bisa sesuai passion. Tapi ngerjainnya harus maksimal dan pakai hati. Katanya, jangan pernah takut untuk mencoba. Dan jangan mudah menyerah. Kesuksesan itu nggak instan. Kalau masih kurang paham, kan bisa bertanya sama ahlinya. Percaya deh, semua usahamu akan membuahkan hasil. Yang penting, jangan ragu untuk memulai. Buka daya.id sekarang dan mulai wujudkan mimpimu. Kata orang, mengejar passion itu seru, sampai bikin kita lupa waktu. Aktivitas yang
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Om Swastiastu. Namo Buddhaya. Salam kebajikan. Selamat siang dan welcome to Beta PNX ABEST webinar. What can we learn from Japanese work culture? Pertama-tama kita ucapkan puji syukur kepada hadirat Tuhan Yang Maha Esa yang telah memberikan kita kesempatan sehingga kita bisa bertemu kembali meskipun secara virtual di webinar kali ini. Tak lupa salawat serta salam kita hadiahkan kepada junjungan Nabi besar Muhammad SAW yang telah membimbing kita hingga sekarang. Saya ucapkan yang terhormat dan selamat datang kepada Dekan Sekolah Bisnis IPB, Bapak Profesor Dr. Insinyur Nur Azam Ahsani MS, Kepala Program Studi Bapak Dr. Raden Diki Indrawan SPMM, Komisi Kemahasiswaan Ibu Febriantina Dewi SEMM MSI, dan Ibu Lokita Rizky Megawati SPDMM. Saya ucapkan juga terima kasih dan selamat datang kepada seluruh perwakilan Bank BTPN, Pak Andri Darusman selaku Communications and Daya Head, Bapak Januar Rusdianto selaku Daya Program Development Head, Pak Deki Kristanto selaku Daya Program Development Lead, Mbak Mulyani Istanto selaku Daya Program Development, dan Mbak Marta selaku Daya Program Development. I will gladly to welcome also Yoshimi Kireyama as Technical Advisor of Alignment and Synergy, and Mbak Vivi, Corporate Banking Loan Reviewer Head. Welcome to Kiriyama-san and Mbak Vivi. thank you for attending. And aku juga mengucapkan selamat datang kepada seluruh peserta webinar BTPN X ABEST hari ini. Halo semuanya, selamat siang. Perkenalkan dan perkenankan. Nama aku Sarah Ardina dari Sekolah Bisnis 56 sebagai pemandu acara yang akan menemani kalian semua selama sepanjang acara hari ini. Nah, tapi sebelumnya acara hari ini izinkan aku untuk menjelaskannya dulu. Nah, acara hari ini merupakan rangkaian keempat alias rangkaian terakhir dari BTPN Webinar Series. Acara ini merupakan program sahabat daya yang bekerja sama dengan ABEST SBIPB dirancang untuk meningkatkan kapasitas pemberdaya muda untuk dapat memberdayakan lingkungan sekitarnya. Webinar hari ini diharapkan dapat memberikan wawasan kepada kita semua mengenai budaya kerja di Jepang. Namun sebelum kita mulai jalannya webinar kali ini, aku mau nyampein sesuatu karena dalam webinar hari ini, dalam acara hari ini ada beberapa tata tertib yang perlu kita semua patuhi. Yang pertama, diharapkan untuk tidak mengeluarkan kata-kata atau pernyataan yang dapat menyinggung pribadi, kelompok maupun ras. Yang kedua, operator memiliki wewenang penuh untuk membisukan atau mute audio peserta secara sementara agar kondusif. Peserta diharapkan menonaktifkan suara selama acara berlangsung kecuali ketika sedang diminta. Yang terakhir, peserta diharapkan kondusif selama berjalannya presentasi oleh pemateri serta disiapkan pertanyaan terbaiknya karena bakal ada hadiah untuk pertanyaan terbaik. Tapi keep in mind untuk seluruh peserta karena sesi webinar nanti akan dilaksanakan secara bilingual, jadi nggak usah takut, nggak usah ragu kepada seluruh peserta, tetap bisa menyediakan atau mempersiapkan pertanyaannya dalam bahasa Indonesia yang nanti akan dibantu untuk ditranslate oleh moderator kita. Jadi disiapkan saja pertanyaannya, either itu dalam bahasa Indonesia maupun bahasa Inggris. Nah, langsung aja. Kalau gitu, tapi sebelumnya peserta juga diharapkan untuk mengisi link presensi dan menyertakan bukti kehadiran berupa screenshot selama kegiatan acara. Jadi peserta diharapkan untuk tidak lupa men-screenshot selama kegiatan acara agar mendapatkan sertifikat nantinya. Presensi dilakukan pada link yang akan dibagikan pada panitia nantinya. Nah, langsung aja kita mulai acaranya dengan mendengarkan kata sambutan dari Dekan Sekolah Bisnis IPB, Dr. Insinyur Nur Azam Ahsani MS. Kepada Bapak Azam, waktu dan layar saya berikan.
Baik, terima kasih moderator. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Apakah suara saya terdengar?
Sudah terdengar Bapak, cukup jelas.
Okay. Our Honorable BTPN representative, Pak Andi Darusman, Pak Deki Kristanto, Pak Yanwar Rustianto, Ibu Mulyani Istanto, Ibu Marta, our distinguished keynote speakers today, Yusimi Kiryamasan, Ibu Vivi, and our colleague from the School of Business IPB, Dr. Diki, Ibu Nana, and Guru kita. First of all, please allow me to extend my sincere gratitude to all of you. Hopefully, we are all in healthy condition. It is such an honor to be here and greet all of you on the final webinar cooperation between BTPN and School of Business IPB University. A brief history about SBIPB. Our school was established in September 1991 as a Master of Agribusiness Management program at that time, or the so-called MMAIBB. And then in 2005, the status of MMAIBB was elevated to become Management and Business Program, or MPIBB, with a broader mandate, not only to conduct Master of Management program, but also Doctor of Business Management. And then in January 2015, IBB integrated Master of Business Program and Doctor of Business Management Program as a postgraduate program of SBIPB. And now we are at SBIPB, offered not only postgraduate, but also undergraduate or Bachelor of Business. As part of IBB University, SBS is one of the schools that also perform 3 pillars of higher education, that is education, research and community service, and the field of related business, or all field related to business. SBIPP offered bachelor program in business, master program in management business and also doctoral program in management business, executive program or tailor-made training program in business field. And now we are accredited by Indonesian government, also internationally accredited by ABEST 21 based in Tokyo. We thank to BTPN because we have a long history of collaboration, which is mutually beneficial for us, I think. We have together established the so-called program Daya with BTPN since 2008, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And also BTPN regularly give our students scholarship, especially non-professional students. Also training for our student, many students of us working at BTPN, also an intensive program in BTPN, for example. And also regularly we have a program such as our current program, webinar, seminar, and so on and so on. So we do hope that our collaboration with BTPN will always continue and continue in the future. And even if it is possible, we would make our collaboration more and more in the next future. For example, student internship at BTPN, for example, or research collaboration, or anything else. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to close my short speech by once again, thanks to BTPN, who has been the best friend of SBIPP, and who set a special moment to be with us today. And thank you for your opportunity that you give us many things until now. On behalf of School of Business IPP University, we would like to apologize if during my speech here or possible in our collaboration until now, there is any inconvenience or anything that does not meet your expectation. Again, thanks for BTPN. Also, thanks to all the speakers today, especially Pak Andika Rusman, Pak Deki Kristanto, Pak Yanwar Dianto, Bu Mulyani, Bu Marta, Kirya Masan, and Ibu Vivi. Also Pak Diki, Bu Nana, and Ms. Lokita, who organized this event with all our students. Again, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you Pak Azam for the greeting speech. Nah, selanjutnya kita akan melanjutkan dengan kata sambutan dari BTPN kepada Pak Andri Darusman selaku Communication and Daya Head. Waktu dan layar, saya persilahkan.
Terima kasih Mbak Moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Apakah suara saya terdengar?
Terdengar Bapak? Sudah jelas.
Oke, siap. Selamat siang, salam sejahtera, salam semangat, dan salam sehat kepada semuanya, kepada yang terhormat Dekan Sekolah Bisnis IPB, Bapak Profesor Dr. Insinyur Nur Azam, teman baik kami dari Bank BTPN, selalu bersama kami, Kepala Program Studi Dr. Raden Diki Indrawan SPMM, Komisi Kemahasiswaan Ibu Febriantini Dewi SEMM MSI, dan juga Ibu Lokita Rizky Megawati SPD MM, dan juga rekan-rekan Bank BTPN seperti Pak Yanwar, Pak Deki, Bu Muli, Bu Marta, especially Mbak Vivi dan Kirya Masan. Thank you Kirya Masan for joining the program and saying yes to basically share about how to work with the Japanese people and getting familiar with the Japanese culture. Ucapan terima kasih kesekian kalinya kepada tim ABEST dan juga SBIPB yang telah bersedia untuk berkolaborasi dalam pelaksanaan talk show kali ini. Ini merupakan kolaborasi kedua di tahun 2021 ini, dan juga merupakan kegiatan keempat dari rangkaian webinar series yang dimulai sejak 4 minggu lalu. Seperti yang tadi Pak Profesor Azam sampaikan, kebersamaan Bank BTPN dan SBIPB sudah berlangsung cukup lama, dan pada dasarnya adalah karena kita memiliki visi yang sama. Kita ingin merubah kehidupan jutaan orang untuk menjadi lebih berarti, dan itu yang menjadi pengikat antara Bank BTPN dan SBIPB sampai sekarang, dan insya Allah sampai masa-masa mendatang. Semoga kita terus berkolaborasi dalam kegiatan-kegiatan berikutnya. Saya juga ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Profesor Azam ya, sebagai Dekan SBIPB kemarin sudah bersedia menjadi narasumber di webinar Bank BTPN Partnership Gathering, Sinergi untuk Memulihkan Negeri. Kebetulan kemarin saya ketemu Pak Aryo lagi, dan dia mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Bapak juga dan dia minta presentasinya Pak. Nanti saya akan forward presentasinya ke Pak Aryo. Nah, teman-teman sekalian, narasumber kali ini spesial karena merupakan bagian dari program Sahabat Daya, yaitu program yang mengajak stakeholders, termasuk karyawan Bank BTPN, untuk ikut memberdayakan sesama. Salah satunya adalah mahasiswa, teman-teman dari SBIPB ini sebagai next generation. Generasi yang akan membawa bangsa kita menjadi negara yang terkemuka, insya Allah. Dan karena narasumbernya spesial, tentu saja temanya juga spesial, yaitu what can we learn from Japanese work culture. Dalam hal bekerja, kita selama ini mengenal Jepang itu pekerja keras, dengan menghormati tingkat senioritas yang tinggi, memiliki waktu kerja yang panjang, serta terkenal sebagai negara maju karena berbagai inovasi yang dikembangkan. Namun apakah culture kerja di Jepang telah mengalami evolusi? Dan apakah ada yang bisa kita terapkan di Indonesia? Apakah ada yang bisa kita tiru dan kemudian kita improve dan membuat cara kerja kita menjadi lebih baik? Nah, itulah yang akan kita pelajari sama-sama di webinar hari ini. Nah, apapun itu, jika ada pertanyaan lebih lanjut tentang bagaimana merancang dan mewujudkan mimpi masa depan teman-teman untuk lebih baik, teman-teman bisa bertanya langsung dengan para ahli kami di daya.id. Sekian sambutan saya mewakili manajemen Bank BTPN. Terima kasih sekali lagi kepada semua jajaran Sekolah Bisnis SBIPB. Kemudian kepada teman-teman Bank BTPN, terima kasih atas terselenggaranya webinar siang ini. Dan selamat mengikuti acara pertukaran budaya ini. Semoga bermanfaat. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih banyak Bapak Andri atas kata sambutannya. Sebelum kita mendengarkan pemaparan materi dari pembicara kita hari ini, kita bakal ada dokumentasi terlebih dahulu. Jadi diharapkan kepada seluruh peserta untuk segera mengaktifkan kameranya dan juga senyum selebar-lebarnya biar kelihatan nih ketika difoto dia tetap cantik dan cakep-cakep semua. Langsung aja diaktifkan kameranya kepada seluruh peserta dan aku serahkan kepada panitia untuk sesi dokumentasi.
Oke, siang semuanya. Aku izin untuk dokumentasi di slide pertama aku ya. 1, 2, 3. Sekali lagi. 1, 2, 3. Baik, untuk slide kedua. Baik. Terima kasih banyak, Kak Sarah.
Oke, terima kasih banyak juga untuk panitia untuk sesi dokumentasinya. Baik, langsung aja kalau gitu kita langsung masuk ke inti acaranya. Tapi buat seluruh peserta dan teman-teman semua, di sesi talk show kali ini aku nggak sendirian karena kita udah ditemenin sama Kak Diki Indrawan selaku moderator kita hari ini. Selamat pagi Kak Diki.
Selamat pagi Sarah, selamat pagi teman-teman semua.
Selamat pagi. Gimana nih Kak Diki untuk sesi webinar hari ini?
Oke, insya Allah kita akan berbincang-bincang dengan Kakak Kiriyama dan Mbak Vivi ya dari BTPN untuk terkait dengan working culture Jepang seperti itu. Mudah-mudahan semuanya semangat ya untuk mengikuti diskusinya.
Iya, amin. Semoga semua semangat ya, soalnya Sarah sama Kak Diki udah semangat banget nih untuk sesi webinar hari ini. Kalau gitu, langsung aja, teman-teman, langsung aja aku estafetkan tongkat pembawa acara hari ini kepada Kak Diki. Waktu dan layar, aku persilahkan. Terima kasih, Kak Diki.
Oke, terima kasih banyak, Sarah. Ya, sama-sama, ya, mari kita sama-sama ucapkan terima kasih nih buat BTPN, sama Pak Andri Darusman, Pak Diki Kristanto, Mbak Mulyani Istanto, Pak Januari Setianto, Stama Marta yang sudah memfasilitasi kita, dan juga tentunya kepada kedua pembicara kita yang cukup prominent nih, yang kita akan ajak ngobrol bareng, yaitu Kakak Kiriyama dan Mbak Vivi. Dan sebelumnya, sebelum kita mulai lebih jauh, tentunya saya akan memperkenalkan dulu narasumber kita, ya pembicara kita pada hari ini. Mungkin teman-teman bisa bantu share screen CV dari Kakak Kiriyama. Jadi nama lengkapnya adalah Yoshimi Kiriyama. Saat ini adalah Technical Advisor of Alignment and Synergy. Jadi teman-teman bisa lihat beliau sangat prominent di bidang banking karena dari tahun 2009 sampai sekarang 2021 lebih dari 12 tahun bergerak di banking industri, dan kita bisa melihat bahwa pengalaman beliau cukup banyak sekali, dan bahkan beliau mendapatkan award juga untuk outstanding performance seperti itu. Jadi ini adalah kesempatan yang baik sekali kita untuk mendapatkan pengalaman, ya, mengambil pengalaman dari Kakak Kiriyama. Jadi tadi pesannya begitu, bisa dipanggil kakak gitu ya, jadi teman-teman bisa lebih dekat gitu. Dan kemudian pembicara kita yang kedua adalah Mbak Vivi. Nah, Mbak Vivi ini juga sama juga, dia adalah orang Indonesia yang studi di Jepang. Jadi teman-teman bisa lihat juga pengalaman pendidikan beliau, dan juga kita bisa melihat bahwa academic achievement-nya juga cukup berarti juga karena beliau mendapatkan beasiswa, ya, full scholarship dari pemerintah Jepang, dan kemudian bekerja dan belajar di Jepang, dan kemudian kembali ke Indonesia dan bekerja di Bank di Indonesia seperti itu. Dan beliau juga memiliki achievement Cross-Sell Award. Nah, jadi teman-teman bisa nih belajar berdiskusi bagaimana sekolah di Jepang, dan kemudian bagaimana juga budaya kerja di Jepang. Oke. Mudah-mudahan ini sebagai pemantik, ya. Jadi teman-teman siapkan pertanyaan sebaik mungkin, gitu ya. Nanti kedengarkan talk show-nya, dan kemudian setelah itu saya persilakan untuk langsung berdiskusi dengan para narasumber kita. Nah, oke, karena ini bilingual, saya akan mulainya dalam bahasa Inggris karena untuk ngobrol dengan Kakak Kiriyama. Kakak Kiriyama bisa bahasa Indonesia beberapa kata, tapi mungkin nanti akan saya undang mengenalkan dirinya dan juga mungkin menyampaikan beberapa kata sebelum kita dive in lebih jauh. Kakak Kiriyama, I would like to ask you to introduce yourself. I already explained a bit about you, but it's better if you can say something about yourself, please.
Okay, thank you, Pak Diki. And first of all, thank you very much, Pak Azam and IPB team for give BTPA to have such a good opportunity and a long-time relationship with us. So yeah, thank you for everyone to join this session. So my name is Yoshimi Kiriyama. So yeah, you can call me Kaka Kiri, Kaka Yoshimi. Anything is okay. And then yeah, I since 2006 I joined SMBC as a first graduate. Then continue to work in SMBC Group more than 15 years now. So yeah, I can say I am one of the most loyal staff in SMBC Group, I think. Then since 2012, I came to Indonesia first time. At that time, I worked as a member of Japanese corporate business banking team in ex-SMBC Indonesia. So this is a bank which owned by SMBC before the merger with BTPN. Then I experienced around 3 years and a half in Jakarta. I moved to Singapore, but from Singapore, I supported business in Jakarta for around 2 years and a half. Then, because we experienced a merger between BTPN and SMBC Indonesia, so I came back to Jakarta again as a member of the, how can I say, a project team for the merger. Then successfully we could merge. Then I joined BTPN since 2019. Then I'm working, still working in BTPN as a member of Alignment and Synergy. So let's say, yeah, over 9 years, I have worked with the members of Indonesian colleagues. So yeah, I really thanks to the Indonesia itself and the Indonesian people. So yeah, I really happy to have this kind of opportunity to return, if possible, something from me to the people in Indonesia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kakak Kiriyama. So it is nice to have you this afternoon. And I would like also to invite Mbak Vivi to introduce herself to the audience. Please, Mbak Vivi.
Thank you, Pak Diki. First of all, I would like to ask whether all of you can hear my voice.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. And second of all, I would like to apologize as well. I think there's something wrong with my camera. So thank you for the time given today. And I'm so happy to be able to attend this kind of seminar or this kind of event where I'm able to meet new people. And please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Vivi. So just a long story short, so I got a scholarship from Ministry of Education, Culture, and Sport from Japan government after I graduated from high school and spent 6 years in Japan. So I studied after I graduated from high school and then spent 6 years, of course, Japanese school first and from the government program. And when I was in Japan, I had a chance to visit one of IPB sister university, I guess in Tokyo University of Agriculture. I saw a lot of Indonesian students over there as well. And every once a year, they always had this kind of like culture day where each university open house what kind of program and what kind of event they have. So I had a really nice time when I had a chance to visit the Tokyo University of Agriculture there. So in this, after I graduate, I had a chance to enter into workforce in Japan. I had several interviews there, and I was thinking maybe I should go back to Indonesia to contribute to my country. Therefore, I had an interview at SMBC headquarters in Japan and got accepted. I want to choose to work in Indonesia instead. So I came back to Indonesia and worked in SMBCI at that time, SMBC Indonesia. And until now, I think it's already been 13 years. Yeah, after that, I spend more time to study again and then come back again to SMBC and now BTPN. Yeah. So if in this opportunity today, maybe if all of you have a question, what kind of school environment there, life as student, life as employee who work at the Japanese working environment, please feel free to ask me questions or Kiriyama-san as well, Kakak Kiriyama in this case. Yeah, and I'm sure Kiriyama-san also have a lot of experience working as a Japanese in Japan working environment and working as a Japanese in Indonesia. Thank you.
Okay, terima kasih. Thank you very much, Mbak Vivi. Very nice introduction and also inspiring short biography of you. I hope it can inspire the student as well, especially for those who would like to experience education in Japan. And with that, I would like also mentioning to the student, please follow the discussion and the information during this talk show. And you can also write down something in the chat box or maybe direct questions. And our prominent speakers will answer you after the talk show. And because Pa Andri already mentioned about the work cultures, and also we have Kiriyama and also Fifi who already experienced working culture in Japan. First, I would like to ask Kiriyama, Kakak Kiriyama, about the working culture in Japan. And because Kakak Kiriyama already mentioned that he has experience working in Japan, Indonesia, and Singapore, maybe it's something that you can share to this audience here. Please, Kakak Kiriyama.
Okay. Okay, Badiki. So, okay, I would like to show, I think 5 keywords. Okay. One is the, punctuality. And second is the diligent. And third is the well prepared. And the fourth is the polite. Then the fifth one is the loyalty. I think if I try to imagine what is the Japanese culture, I think these 5 words are the key words. Okay, but okay, at first I need to say, this is just based on my experience, only in Japan, Indonesia, Singapore comparison. So yeah, so I don't have the Western countries experience. So maybe the other person have more than that, or yeah, maybe different view. But okay, based on my view, yeah, those 5 words are the key points. And then I'd like to explain one by one with an example case. So, for example, the punctuality. So we Japanese, how can I say, the meeting time is very, very strict. So especially with a customer, if we delay even 1 minute, we need a reason why we'll delay. Then if we cannot say enough reason, your customer feel strange, or are you really trustable person? So yeah, so okay, background in Japan, the trust is very important on the business. So first, the people who cannot manage the time cannot be trusted. So yeah, so time management, punctuality is very important. And the second word, diligent. So yeah, okay, let's say, okay, in Japan, artisan spirits, like craftsman spirits, maybe the culture of Japanese style. So even in the like a bank, the company, people work there is having the craftsman spirits, artisan spirits. So meaning diligently, day by day, little by little, they do something. So yeah, I think, yeah, especially with compared to the Western style company, I think a bit different. Then the third point, well prepared. I think this is very similar to Indonesian culture. For example, if we need to get a decision from the senior person, or maybe even the director level, before we are going to have the presentation in front of all the decision maker, we go to the decision maker one by one before the meeting to explain, to how can I, pre-consultation, to have a pre-consultation. Then actually before the meeting, the conclusion was there. Then just we sit together, just confirm only. So that is a very typical Japanese way of decision making. I think compared to the other country, especially the Western style company, they don't do like that. They just join together. They discussed on the meeting very freely. So yeah, that's a very different type decision making. And then the fourth one, pride. So yeah, since I told you on the punctuality, so the trust is important. So yeah, especially yeah, person who tell a lie, or the person who how can I say, yeah, just saying without concrete data or concrete actual information, those kind of people will not be trusted. And then the anyway, need to be very polite, and then the need to be very, how can I say, when we meet with the customer, or even in the person in the same company, yeah, we need to be polite, to be respected. That is fourth point. The final one, loyalty. So as I explained my career, like me, most of the people are very long server for one company. So actually recently, this is gradually changing. Yeah, but previously, the company we joined after first graduate. Usually, this is only one company they will serve, because after joining this company, if we resign, it's not easy to find out the second company at that time. But now it has changed. Many company started to hire from the second career people or third career. So gradually changing, but still there is a culture. People tend to work longer in the first company. Yeah, so that is very brief my understanding on the Japanese typical company culture.
Okay, quite interesting. So basically, I think this is something that the audience can learn. The Japanese companies always looking at the people who are trusted, right? So, and for this, you need to have 5 characters, which is part of the working cultures of the company. You need to be to have a good time management. Need to be punctual, and second one, you need to be diligent, and the third one, you need to well prepare for everything, and the fourth one, you need to be bright, to be smart. You need to be, I think, problem solver for any cases, right? And then the last one, you need to be loyal to companies, which is means that you are trying. It's probably not the correct word if I'm saying submissive, but you trying to build something of nothing, and you are focusing on that. I think this is quite interesting key factors, and also I think this is the most prominent cultures that makes Japan's as the competitive countries, I guess. And maybe you can say something. What is why people in Japan so keen, so focus in following these cultures?
Okay. Yeah, I think okay. In Japan, we have the winter season. So our ancient people are very hard to survive in the winter season. So that's why they tend to well prepare before winter comes. So that's, I think, the root of the culture of Japan. Yeah. So yeah, then that means okay. So it's related to well prepared or diligent or punctuality. Or yeah, even for yeah maybe loyalty also. So yeah, yeah. Okay. Is it answering to your question?
Yeah. I think that's very well answered. So basically, that you are saying that these five working cultures is related to the previous problems, because in Japan, as subtropical countries, you have four seasons, and most of the time, people who work, especially in agriculture or in every sector, could not really work very warm or nicely like in the tropical countries. So they need to be more efficient and effective. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's why
yeah.
you need to be punctual, you need to be diligent, well prepared, so bright, and also loyal, because you need to solve some things in a very short times.
Yeah.
That's the root of the question. Yeah,
that's my guess. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the insight. I think this is the time for me to ask Mbak Vivi, because Mbak Vivi said to me earlier before this meeting that her favorite times is winter time. So it is also quite interesting whether this culture is also true, and also the root is can be, you can say something about the prominent the key driver to this culture as well, Mbak Vivi, please.
Thank you, Pak. Yeah, I love winter because I love snow. And like Kireba-san said, that loyalty, trust is to me, is the highest currency for Japanese. Yeah, and that's like we need to build and we need to earn trust with them. Like Kiriyama-san said, that in Japan is like different with Indonesia. Yeah, if you hire someone and you have in Indonesia, if you see the CV of someone and he or she has a lot of experience working at company A, company B, company C, we will think, okay, this person has so many experiences. But in Japanese culture, if you see like a CV with so many experience in so many companies, they probably will not hire it because there's no loyalty. Yeah, there's no loyalty. And even though you have so many experience in so many industries, in so many companies, but still this person probably jump here, jump there. So like me and Kiriyama-san, we enter into the same company after we graduated. So that's a typical, most of the Japanese as well. They work in one company after graduate until they retire. Okay. So that's the highest respect, I think, for the company itself. And of course, you have to respect about your school as well. Yeah. For example, if I found someone who work in the company that has a same university with me, so they will have like a gathering, something like that, and they honor where do they come from. Yeah, something like so, that.
Connection is also important, right?
Connection is very important.
Okay, it is quite interesting when you mentioned that loyalty is important, and based on that, you see that Kakak Kiriyama already mentioned that they are totally different from the Western country, and also Vivi mentions that, well, Japanese companies always look at whether the experience in one company is very dedicated one. It means that, well, I think also the five characters mentioning is that people in Japan is very dedicated to one company, loyal, and at the same time also means discipline and innovations in one company, very devoted, right? How do you think it can be implemented in Indonesia? I think that's also important to our audience here, because maybe they would like to know further. Maybe Kakak Kiriyama can say something about it.
Okay. Okay, so honestly speaking, okay, for the first time I came to Jakarta, one surprise things happened. Many people take a medical leave.
That's true. I was about to talk that.
This is
Cliff, yeah?
actually in Japan, we don't have such kind of the type
Medical
of the
leave.
leave.
Okay.
Leave is just leave, but actually nobody take a leave suddenly. so so but I think it's a more more totally different. So based on the totally different culture, so I think it's okay. Yeah, but yeah, in Indonesia, yeah, as a Japanese, one of the Japanese company, we talked with our members. Yeah, as much as possible, please notice prior to the members. And taking leave is okay, but we need to manage as a team. You need to be care what will be happen if without you, other people what should need to be covered. Yeah, such kind of thing we discussed together with the team members. So yeah, of course, everyone understood the importance of the prior notice. So yeah, so once people understand, yeah, gradually it is changed. Yeah, so such kind of way we need to discuss between us based on the different culture.
So this is the most significant difference between working in Japan and Indonesia. Medical leaves, izin sakit ya teman-teman ya. Ya Mbak Vivi ya.
Yes,
So
Pak.
there is
If
no
I
medical leave in Japan. A leave just leaves, but need to have a prior preparation, prior information. Yeah, Mbak Vivi.
Correct, Pak. If I might share, maybe it started from the, not only from the working, yeah, even from the school, yeah. The attendance is, so here it is. The process itself is way more important to Japanese, other than result, yeah. So the process itself is more important. Like for me, I studied like when I was a kid, I Singapore and Jakarta as well. So the result is way more important. For example, the final score of our test is way more important. But the Japanese honor the process. From the school, when I start to study in Japan, yeah, the attendance, it will print it out in the certificate. It's like if you get 100% attendance, then at the graduation event, they will call you and give you the highest honor. So that's,
got an
and
award
it's printed,
for 100%
and
attendance.
100%, and also they will get award the money. For me,
Oh,
I will never get 100% attendance.
you still have medical leave?
uh, uh, well, I had 99% attendance leave, but I mean, I attend 99% attendance result. But the thing is, if you get 100% attendance and it will print it out in your certificate next to your result. Apa sih IPK ya sekarang ya?
Yeah, it's transcript.
Yeah, so transcript in your transcript score. So it's like it will show that how disciplined you are. Yeah, the process itself, and they will call you on the graduation event and give you I don't know, my university give me money. The money is like in terms of how do you say, a library card at that time worth of 5 million rupiah.
Whoa, 5 million rupiah.
I know, per year. And also they honor like if you take so many certificate for like technical certificate for like, for example, here probably like TOEFL, TOEIC. I think TOEIC is some kind of like English proficiency test in Japan only, and also accounting test, other technical. There are so many certificate in the school, yeah, so you can take it. For example, here like CFA, financial certified financial, and then CPA, something like that. Yeah. So many certificates that you can take it, and the school will honor that effort. So what I'm trying to say is the process itself is more important than result.
Okay, I think this very connected to the five key drivers that Kakak Kiriyama mentioned, because I think if you can present or informs that your identity in schools 100%, it means that you already also well prepared and diligent during school times. And then it means that you are honoring the process of studying, so you get good results afterwards. And it means that you are also loyal to your study times. And I think that's still very well connected. Maybe later on, Pak Dekan, this is something that we can also learn, that for the students who, well, presents 100% and get prize money. And that's something that's quite interesting as well. And I think this is maybe because of this, if you have medical leave, you need to have leave, but you need to inform others and prepare others as well. It's also, well, it seems quite harsh, of course. It seems that you also need to prepare whether you will be sick or not, right? So it means also it means that people in Japan really workaholics, working in a long time, but well managed. What do you think about these assumptions, about this, well, this idea about people in Japan, or maybe people who work in Japan's companies, very workaholics, because you need, well, you do not have medical leaves eventually, and somehow it's totally different. People can have medical leaves. Can you explain about this?
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so to maintain the health well, also a part of the job, that is the consideration of the typical Japanese company. So the people cannot manage your health, will not be trusted. Yeah. So it's maybe too strict, too strict, but that's the basic culture. Yeah, and then you are maybe true. Compared to other countries, the Japanese working persons workaholic tend to be workaholic. So but the Japanese government or the company's management already realized comparing with the international standard, we are a bit strange. So actually, during these 10 years, 15 years, it's really changing. So for example, in Japan, nowadays, we men can take maternity leave or child care leave. So this is a significant change. 2-3 years ago, or just started to do this kind of system in many big companies. In SMBC also, my colleague in Tokyo take a maternity leave. Oh, are you delivering? No, but So 1 month he take a leave and he care the child. So now, we Japanese try to challenge on the work-life balance at this point in time.
Okay. Well, maybe this is something good to inform the audience. Usually, what is the average of people? What times? How long people work in the working days? 8 days, 10 days. 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours. No, that sounds possible, right? What is the average working time for the Japanese?
Okay, but it really depends on the company and the title of the job. But okay, let's say for the case of the SMBC, like me, who are like Yeah, even in SMBC, we have many types of the layers and the jobs. So yeah, okay, like us who are recruited uh, to be assigned for any types of a job. Usually, we started 8 a.m. until 7 or 8. It is a standard, and if the busy day, it will be continue until 10, 11, such kind of the image. But yeah, if the people who don't delegate so much on the work, they can choose the another types of a job. So such a job, such a case, they started 8:30 until 5. They can go home at 5, but salary is lower than us. So the difference we have. But for my case, for my colleagues, usually 8 until 8, 8 to 8. That's the image. Yeah.
At least with minimum on average 12 hours working. Do you also work on the weekends or only weekdays?
Nowadays, no. Or it's strictly prohibited to come to the office, so we can say no.
Okay. Is that true, Mbak Vivi, that people that work in Japanese companies working for 12 hours on average a day? And,
Well, from my experience, if my boss is still in the office, I cannot go home.
Okay. So Kakak
But
Kiriyama
that's the old
stays in the
mindset,
office,
yeah.
so no one can go home.
No,
it's
that's the
true.
culture that previously, right? If it's kind of like you have to honor your boss too. Yeah, if your boss still working, that means you need to support them. So that's the honor that we can give to the working environment as well. And from 8 to 8, yeah, I experienced that maybe because from the culture itself, the Japanese culture is like built from the childhood as well. If they they're very independent, yeah, since kindergarten. So much I see like from like small children, they go to school by themselves. Like small children, like kelas 1 SD. Like they walk to school by themselves. They eat by themselves. So that kind of like independent, they always like built from the childhood. That kind of mentality is like until they brought it until the professional world as well. So working from 8 to 8 is like it it doesn't necessarily like you have to work like that, but it's kind of like loyalty that I've been talking. If your boss still there, you're not allowed to go home. However, this towards this kind of generation, I think that kind of mindset already been shifted, even in SMBC culture. In the headquarters, correct me if I'm wrong, yeah, Kiriyama-san, I think in February they set a flexibility where you have to go home at 5. I think in February, right? One month in a year in February, you have to go home at 5.
So company set certain day, early go home day. We go like that.
Go home day.
So for example, once in a month, in the second week, Wednesday, we said, okay, everybody go home at 6. It's also very strange. but everybody suddenly disappears from the
it's
office.
Unusual, yeah. It's unusual, yeah.
Yeah, but 10 years ago, at that time, after go out from the office, we worked near the office in the restaurant.
Just in the proximity of the office, then it means that it's not really going home. Okay.
It was 10 years ago, just we started. So now I think it's more changed. So yeah. it's
Well,
more.
it is
Okay.
also quite interesting. Basically, all of you still are quote unquote workaholics, but at the same time, Vivi mentioning about the school days, starting from the early years and probably secondary schools and also high schools and the university times. The life of studying is totally devoted and also build up how you can be a trustable person and be diligent during the school times. And it means that to earn scholarships, it's almost quite a competition, right? Because many people are keen to have that. And maybe Vivi can also share us, and later on probably Kiriyama can also say something. How is the process to apply scholarships in Japan, especially if you are foreigners, and also maybe later on say if you are a resident in Japan, and how it likes to compete and study in Japan. But maybe can you say something?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Pak. Mm, it's quite a long time ago since I applied scholarship. Yeah, but if I remember, I will share with adik-adik sekalian di sini. Whenever there's a will, there will always a way. Yeah. When I was graduating high school, yeah, my friend told me about this Japanese scholarship from the Japanese government. And at my time, at that year, there are around 2,000 people who applied. Yeah. If you guys thinking to apply or go to school in Japan, just like don't give up. There are a lot of ways to do that. And you can search like in the Japan Embassy website as well. At that time, yeah, so many written tests actually, but it's just like a technical like mathematics, English, and kalau jurusan IPA, you can apa? If you come from the jurusan IPA, then they will focus on the IPA. If you jurusan ABEST, then you can go through like social study and stuff. But at that time, I was like IPA studies, so I choose biology and physics. And then the most important thing is, I think the written test is like usual for people, yeah. I mean, usual for students. The most important is the interview part. They're looking for someone who, like I said, independent. So they give you like psychological test, usually like, what will you do if the earthquake happen? What will you do if your parents not around? What will you do if this situation happen? If this situation happen, so they would like to seek or looking for someone who really independent and know what to do, and someone who always asks why this happened, why that happened. Maybe since I was childhood, I was like trained like that by my parents. You have to become a why person. Ask this, ask that. So proactively find a solution. So that kind of person that's looking at that time, yeah, my interviewer is like, do a lot of questions like that. Why? What will happen if you do this? What will happen if you do this? So a lot of people at that my time that time did not pass the interview test. Out of that 2,000, I think written test probably 1,000 people. And out of that 1,000 people, I think at that time only 12 people got accepted by this scholarship because a lot of people didn't pass the interview. So it's like that. I mean, you need to become an independent. Like even in the interview, when the high school, a lot of parents waiting outside because they want to go together with the children, right? If you see the parents coming, then the interviewer will see that you're not independent. At that time, I go by myself. Even though I'm come from Jakarta to the Japan embassy, it's like I go by myself. So they see that some people like still going with the parents. Like I said, in Japan, even the kindergarten or the elementary school, they go to school by themselves without the parents. Different with here, yeah. The parents like go together with you, something like that.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Vivi. Maybe Kiriyama-san can say something a bit.
Okay. Okay, actually, I don't know where about the scholarship for the foreigners, but for the Japanese person residents. Okay, let's say until the high school, the private high school usually have the system for the only limited. Okay, let's say 5% of the students, high score person can be paid by the school. So such kind of things are very usual, so very limited. Then for the university, for the case of the national university, public university, they don't have such a system by themselves. But yeah, very very rare case. But there are some foundation who can support the money for the tuition without obligation to repay. But this is very limited. This is also only for the very, very selected person. But in Japan, we have the very well organized funding system, but with the obligation to repay after education. So many people, or many Japanese people who goes to the university take some of the money from this very big organization who can lend the money with a very cheaper rate. But obligation, we need to pay after the graduation, once in a month, 10,000 yen. Such kind of way, we need to repay in 30 years. But this system is very solid. So almost all the students who need the money can borrow easily, very easily can borrow. So that's very rough image of the system in Japan.
Okay, thank you, Kakak Kiriyama. Yeah, the borrowing, the school funding exists, but only for the tuition fee and study, not for buying a game token, right? Nowadays, people went to the game online, so careful with that kind of things. Well, we have tons of questions already in the chat box. Maybe what some of you would like to ask the questions directly. I see Daniel Effendi here. You drop the questions. Do you want to say it directly? Do you want to ask question directly, Daniel Effendi? Are you here? No? Okay. If not, I can read the questions. The question from Daniel is for Kiriyama-san. Based on your experience both in Japan and Indonesia, what would you say unique positive side from Indonesian workers and people that you experience? Beside that, what would you wish to be improved from Japanese people? That's the first question. The second one, since you mentioned about the medical leave, what do you think about maternal leave and paternal leave? Are you pro or against that kind of leaves? Especially in Japan, from what I heard, it's almost impossible to take paternal leave even when they're currently in Asia. Even currently, Japanese population is declining. That's the question. Can you follow the questions?
Okay, so for the first question, so I feel very positive from Indonesian colleague. They are, how can I say, basically they are very how can I say, enjoying the life. So including the work. So seems, compared to Japanese people, they seems very happier. So it's very good, makes things positive. So yeah, okay, I think people in Japan usually try to show themselves serious, uh, but actually not all the people are very serious. There are many funny guys also, but they tend to be shown as serious person to get the trust in the company. So I don't like it actually. So to work with fun is more is better. We can make a better outcome. So yeah, I feel the working with Indonesian colleague is very good for me. Sometimes I can get a good power, energy, positive energy, because they are trying to show themselves positive, not too serious. That is a good point, I think, positive point. Mm. And then the second question, sorry, Daniel.
It's about whether you are pro or against the maternal leave or paternal leave, because Daniel said that it seems that almost impossible for the workers to take this kind of leaves, even they are in Japan, the population is declining. Yeah, I think the question is whether you pro or against this.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so okay, I support this initiative. So, of course, it depends on the working situation. The people need to decide whether they will take or not. So, if they can get enough support with the teams, they should take this chance for the leave. So yeah, definitely the declining of the kids, number of the kids is a very serious issue in Japan. So yeah, every Japanese need to support for the ladies who can who deliver the kids with everyone. We need to support. So yeah, that's why I totally support for this initiative.
Okay, thank you, Kakak Kiriyama. And the next question is in Bahasa, but the main question is, well, we know that actually in Japan, Japanese people very disciplined and very keen to have the high work ethics, and all Indonesians knows that. We heard that a lot, but it seems we try to apply it, but not as smooth as the Japanese. We still feel lazy and sometimes too slow, or sometimes also too relaxed. Maybe the questions can be answered by Mbak Vivi. How we can conquer that? How we can countermeasures this kind of feeling, especially because for Kiriyama sang in Japan, the culture's already been something like that. But for Vivi, who from Indonesia and entering the Japanese cultures, maybe in the first year studying and first year working, you still have the Indonesian feelings, and how you can manage that. Vivi?
Yeah, thank you, Pa. Well, what I would like to say is it's even a shock culture to me. Yeah, when I went to Japan, it's like everybody is very they're like human of habit. For example, if you wake up at 7, then you have to wake up at 7 every time. Very efficient. It's a human of habit. So even though, for example, if you're having a test, if there's no one around, you're still doing the test without apa nyontek atau gimana gitu ya. It's like very, very disciplined, right? And how do you apply that in Indonesia? It's like, I would say, like, it depends on the character itself, yeah, because everybody has a different uh, character and capabilities. But the thing is, if your foundation, if you have a strong foundation, then it can go on the long haul. So please make it a habit, what's good and throw what's bad. That's I would like to say. It's need time to build that kind of character, but if it's strong, then it can go the long haul. I mean, mm, like I said, that trust and is the highest currency. So not only to Japan, but any culture, if you have a strong foundation, you can go a long way.
Okay, thank you, Wawi. So basically, it depends on your personal goals. If you have very high aim, and then you can change your habit from laziness to become more, well, disciplined. It can be part of the characters building, especially for you. Well, you can be a trustable person if you can build a hardworking image and also punctuality, time management as well. Things at the end of the time, it's really depend on whether you have the inner drivers. Is that correct, Mbak Vivi?
Yes, Pak. It's like let me tell you like my experience. Like when I was as a student, I always like sleep around 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. Right? So sometimes if I cannot sleep, I just go out to like a convenience store like apa sih di sini Alfamart, Indomaret, like that. Yeah. But in Japan, it's like 7-Eleven or Family Marts or Lawson, something like that. When I go out like around 1 a.m. to the convenience store near my apartment, there is like the traffic light. There's a car, right? There's no one around, but people still waiting for that traffic light to become green to go passing the street. That kind of discipline is like here in Indonesia, if there's no one around, you can just go through, even though it's
road,
like you can just cross walking the street, even though it's red light. At 1 a.m., there's no one around, but the Japanese it's like they're still waiting for the green light. So it's very disciplined like that. So it's a habit, yeah, habit that you need to build.
Yeah, okay. I think order is important, is that right? So you create a habit to follow the rules. Therefore, you have the order for everything in your life. I think that's the idea. And then if you create the habit and then the order becomes just regular orders, and it can benefit not only you but also the society. And also we can see what happened in Japan, that well, this working culture, the working habit create Japan as their developed countries all over the world. And then I will also move to the next question from Rian Agung. Rian Agung, are you here? Maybe it's also related to the previous questions. Do you want to ask the questions directly, Rian Agung? No? Okay. This is something that is quite interesting. The question: does the work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. or for 6 days probably apply in Japan? Kiriyama-san already mentioned earlier. Not now. The weekend they have prohibited to enter the office. Well, because many media often report the high suicide rate of workers due to work stress. Maybe this is something that can be discussed a bit. What kind of stress that actually exists for the workers that suicides in Japan. Maybe Kiriyama, well, I think maybe it's also related to the working culture there. Maybe you can a bit.
Yeah, okay. So when I was 20, I also feel very stressed in the working environment. So my second assignment in the branch, so super high target. Every day, every week, my boss trace me how much I are you how can I say how much have you accomplished and then how many clients did you go, or then today how many will you go, every day, every day, every day. So yeah, this is I think it's not only in Japan but also in many countries in the marketing stuff are in such a environment. But yeah, as I said, basically in typical Japanese company, they are very serious, tend to be showing serious. So yeah, this kind of atmosphere makes the people feel stressed further. Yeah, yeah, I think some part true. The Japanese working culture makes this situation. So yeah, number of the suicide, the people who are feeling stress, is a bit higher. So yeah, so that's why I think the very important point for us is, we are not working for the company. We are working for myself, my family. So then, so keep maintaining ourselves in a good balance. It's very important. That's one of the very important skill for the people work in Japan, maybe.
Okay, very interesting situation. I quite understood that, especially you have pressures every day while working. And of course, it's not easy, especially in Japan, you do not have medical leave. We have medical leave here, so the pressure can be released as soon as possible. I don't know nowadays in BTPN, Mata, Tiki. But it is quite interesting situations. Of course, the pressures, I think everywhere, not only in Japan, still exist, especially during these times. It brings us to the next question from Sri Mulyani, because, we have COVID-19, right, for the last 2 years. And I think in many businesses in Indonesia, or maybe all over the world, including Japan, we experience problems, right? And it's related to the pressure, work pressure as well. So I think many businesses also closes. And the questions from Sri Mulyani actually asking whether the business in Japan experience the same problems, whether the business also halted and declined. And what is your suggestions for the business if you face this kind of situations? Maybe Kiriyama-san can say something about this.
Okay. So actually, during this time, I worked in Indonesia. So this information is just I hear from my colleagues in Japan. So, but there was a significant change in Japan as well. So yeah, for example, we Japanese also started to use web conference for the meeting, even with clients. And SMBC already started a satellite office near to the town where the people, our staff, many of the staff are living. So people can choose to work from satellite office. Of course, prior notification needed. but yeah, the selection of the people where they will work is quite wider than previous. So it's a significant change in Japan. So let's say people can work more efficiently. So I think it's a good part of the COVID-19 influence. Our company, our company provide the people in the company more selection how to work. So that makes the problem which I mentioned before can be solved. So I think, okay, in terms of the working environment, the COVID-19 impact well to the Japanese companies.
Okay, thank you, Kiriyama-san. I hope it answers your questions and stimulates and satisfies your curiosity. The next one is also, well, it is very challenging questions from Muhammad Balik mentioning that, well, it seems while studying about the punctuality, diligence, well-prepared, bright, and loyalty in Japanese culture, it was supported by the education system there. And how about, well, the real life actually, whether this also apply to the working life, the life after schools. And the next one also, how Japanese can apply the education strictly, not only in the school system, but in every sectors. So you mentioning about these 5 characters, the 5 key important things in working cultures. How you can bridge actually? What is your experience? Maybe Kiriyama-san or Fifi-san, you can share your opinion how the Japanese can bridge the education system by applying these 5 characters in the education, and then they can really apply it in the society.
Okay. Well, for my experience, I learned not only from the school, but also learned from the communities or the, especially for my case, from the baseball club. So okay, many people in Japan in the school time, they joined a team for the sports like baseball, soccer, basketball, volleyball. So in such an experience in the sports team makes the kids to have the mentality like I experienced. So usually in such a team, that's like a military style. So that experience also maybe influence to the Japanese people working culture.
So basically, it's not only about the education system, but also the society apply the discipline, like the military in every piece of life, including even in soccer clubs, like you mentioned, in the sports clubs and everything.
Yeah.
This is quite interesting information. Well, I see Mbak Vivi already missing. I was going to ask her as well. I don't know whether she's in the room or not. It brings us to the next questions from Dimas. Actually, well, we already well informed about the disciplines, the high discipline, high dedicated, the workaholic behaviors of Japanese people. Is there any curriculums or any subjects that applied by the government to create its generations and for the next generations to keep the concept and this culture to be heritage to another generation? Do you have some kind of curriculums or anything that can be applied, or the policy from the governments that actually keep this working cultures, or like you mentioned earlier, it's slightly changing, but you still keep some things out of it that's still important?
Yeah, so okay. Yeah, actually, yeah, for the new generation colleagues, let's say first graduate for this year, feels my style is strange, maybe. So yeah, even yeah, during these 15 years, the feelings of the basic understanding on the working style is quite changed, I think. So yeah, I think that's a very important point, how to remain the good point of the a typical Japanese culture. So yeah, I think yeah, the company itself is it's also very important, I think. So as you may know, the more than 100 years or more than 200 years historical existing company in Japan is the largest among all over the world. So yeah, so meaning our company in Japan has a long history. Then they are surviving. So yeah, so meaning in the company they can how can I say sustain, of course by changing, but remaining the good point, good policy. Then they have been keep educating the staff. So this system, I believe, for the new generation people also, our company will keep educate for the important principle. So
Okay.
yeah, I really expect on the company for this part.
Okay, so they basically, it's really not only the education system, but also the policy in the companies that can sustain the companies more than 100 or even 200. And I think one company also exists more than 1,000 years in Japan, right?
Yeah.
It's also answering the questions from Bahri and Rawan actually, because many of these company really survive. Not only, well, you know that sometimes in companies like in Indonesia, you have the owners. When the owners dies, and the business also going to die. And you like Kiriyama-san mentioning, this is quite important system in education internal in the company that keep the workers to adapt to the situations while keeping the good point in as a trusted person, as trusted company. Can you also emphasize more about this? And well, maybe you can give one examples of the companies that survive even more than 200 years. Maybe you can say something, Kiriyama-san.
Oh, so example of the company. So so okay, so some of the manufacturing companies like so yeah, okay. Actually, I don't have the certain names, but many of the industry like garment. So even just after Edo era, uh, they started the business to gather the people from the village to sit together. Then they started to make a garment. Then they export to the Western companies. This makes Japan have enough money to prepare for to be the modern country in the Meiji era. maybe you know. So yeah, this kind of company. So even SMBC, we have the more than 300 years experience, starting from the our one of the founder, Sumitomo Group, started their business in the copper mining in Japan. So yeah, such kind of company we have in Japan. Many company we have. So yeah, so I'm sorry, it cannot be the enough answer to you. Like sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You already mentioning the example of the company, including your own company, the good examples. I think not many people knows that actually the oldest company exists in the world is from Japan, right? It's Komogumi, the construction company, also from Japan, right? So maybe the student can look at the company profile later on. And it's bring us to the last questions from Mutiara Sadewa. Well, Mutiara Sadewa, are you here? Do you would like to ask a question directly to Kiriyama-san? Kakak Kiriyama, Mutiara? No? Okay, I will read the questions. Well, you already mentioning that the Japanese quite popular and have a strong work ethics, and also the concept of work-life balance called ikigai. How do Japanese implement this work-life balance concept while they can also maintaining this strong work ethics?
Yeah, good question. So okay, actually for my case, my family is now in Japan. I work in Indonesia. Actually, my work-life balance is maybe not good enough now. yeah. But actually, for my case, my wife also work in Japan, so she want to keep to work. So that's why we are living. We are not living together, but yeah. So okay, at this point in time, we prioritize the work. So yeah, for my case, okay, if we can achieve good enough in my current task, or yeah, if I can get a further interesting role in this company, yeah, it's quite important and make me feel happy. Then yeah, since we already get the same understanding with my wife, my family also happy. So yeah, but to maintain the family relationship, every day I contacted with my family by web conference system. So yeah, so I try to make effort to maintain the balance between family and work. So yeah, so that yeah, endless questions how to maintain the balance between work and life. So I think it depends on the family or people. So yeah, how we prioritize life, how prioritize the work. So yeah, I think the important point is that there is a choice. So yeah, yes, I think in Japan, gradually we have many of the choices. So I think we are getting happier than before.
Okay, thank you, Kiriyama-san. That's nice. Also, while living together in different side of the world, you can still communicate very easily these days, right? So it's much easier. Okay, because we are acting, I think we're already exceeding the times. maybe I would like to ask Kakak Kiriyama dan Vivi to say, well, a key message to all students and audience here. A very short, brief, and strong messages. Please, maybe I would like to invite Kiriyama some first.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, very simply, I would like to say is think positively about everything. So yeah, I mentioned I get a very positive thinking, positive feeling from the many of the Indonesian colleagues. So yeah, so definitely I appreciate on that. So you can make the world positive. So please keep do it, and yeah, let's work together to make a good society. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kakak Kiriyama. The next one, Mbak Vivi, silakan.
Thank you. Yeah, for me, just like make it a habit, even though no one is looking at you. Make it a good habit and make it like the way of life, and then you'll find what will be your ikigai. Not only what you do best, but what you love. Please focus on that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Kakak Kiriyama. Thank you very much, Mbak Vivi, for the nice talk show with me. Well, I'm sorry if I not really maintaining the flows of discussion probably very well, but I'm enjoying the sharing from Kakak Kiriyama and Mbak Vivi, and I hope also the audience too. And by this, I would like to end the sessions and return to our nice MC, a very lovable MC, Kakak Sarah. So Kakak Diki Imrawan, sign out, please. Kakak Sarah, the room is yours.
Thank you, Kak Diki. It's such a great honor for me to being called lovable MC. Thank you juga untuk Kakak Kiriyama and Mbak Vivi. It's such a great talk show. It's such a great honor for us to learn more and more about Japanese work culture and also about life lesson. We learn so much here. Okay, before we move on to the next session, kita mungkin akan ngelasain dokumentasi dulu. Jadi semuanya mohon kepada seluruh peserta untuk aktifin kameranya, kembali dirapiin lagi jilbabnya, dirapiin lagi rambutnya, senyum lagi lebar-lebar karena kita ada sesi dokumentasi selanjutnya. Untuk sesi dokumentasi kali ini, kembali lagi aku serahin kepada panitia untuk sesi dokumentasinya. Kepada panitia, aku persilahkan.
Okay, thank you, Kak Sarah. So there are 4 slides, so please hold your pose. Let's start from the first slide. 1, 2, 3. Second slide. 1, 2, 3. First slide. 1, 2, 3. Fourth slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Oke, thank you Serafim untuk dokumentasinya. Oke, setelah kita udah learning so much nih, udah gaining so much information about Japanese work culture and so on, saatnya kita refresh lagi pikiran kita, saatnya kita semangat lagi dengan games, karena kita tadi udah serius-serius, saatnya kita seru-seruan, dan seru-seruannya juga dapetin hadiah. Jadi bakal ada games yang bakal dipandu sama panitia kita nih. Langsung aja, karena kayaknya udah pada nggak sabar nih untuk kepada panitia yang nge-handle games, waktu dan layar, aku persilahkan.
Oke, makasih Kak Sarah. Lanjut ya. Kali ini kita bakal main games bareng aku. Langsung aja join ke joinmyquiz.com atau klik link yang ada di room chat. Oke, bentar. Joinmyquiz.com atau klik link yang ada di room chat. Nah, untuk rules-nya, jadi rules-nya itu waktu bermain maksimal 4 menit dan wajib banget menggunakan nama asli. Ini udah tertera ya linknya di room chat. Wajib banget ya menggunakan nama asli karena untuk ngeklaim hadiah itu pakai nama asli. Lalu pemenang games akan diambil dari urutan 5 teratas. Nah, sebagai bukti, pemenang wajib men-screenshot men-screenshot hasil kuisnya, hasil kemenangannya di akhir game, lalu menghubungi kontak person yang akan kami sediakan di room chat. Nah, setelah itu di akhir acara nanti wajib banget mengisi presensi dengan benar. Kenapa? Karena kalau misalnya nggak ngisi presensi, hadiahnya bakal dialihkan ke peserta lainnya. Jadi teman-teman harus perhatiin ya, wajib banget menggunakan nama asli, nge-screenshot hasil gamenya di akhir game nanti, lalu menghubungi kontak person yang tertera di room chat yang akan kami sediakan nanti. Dan jangan lupa mengisi presensi di akhir acara, karena ini sangat dibutuhkan untuk mengklaim hadiah. Ayo yang join udah 25 orang dari 91 ya. Yuk. Aku ingatin lagi nih maksimal bermain 4 menit ya. Jadi aku kasih timer biar tepat waktu. Aku tunggu sampai 15, 19, 2 menit ya. Masih 34 orang ini. Oke, naik lagi ke 36. Ayo. Sayang banget kalau nggak join hadiahnya loh. Ayo udah 37 orang.
Kiriyama join. Only for students ya.
Yes.
I'm also student for life.
Student for life, yes.
Tidak apa-apa kalau mau join Mbak Vivi, tapi nanti tidak dihitung kalau toh menang gitu aja. Ya boleh aja nggak apa-apa untuk mencoba, it's okay.
Boleh
untuk mencoba. I think Kiriyama-san can try these quizzes.
Ayo masih 37 orang yuk. Sayang banget hadiahnya, lumayan loh. 1 menit lagi ya, 15-19.
Hadiahnya jalan-jalan ke Jepang bukan?
Boleh.
Saya juga mau, Kakak Diki saya juga mau.
Coba mau lihat Disneyland di Tokyo.
Visit SMBC ya.
Yes.
Oke, udah 15-19 ya. Ini aku tutup dalam 3, 2, 1, start. Aku ingetin lagi pemenangnya 5 teratas ya. Jadi usahain sampai 5 aja nggak apa-apa sih. Yuk, bisa yuk. Balepan. Wow, Kaltis Fikri tetap bertahan ya di posisi 1. Ayo dibalap lagi.
Ya, habis Vicky suka main Mobile Legends kayaknya atau PUBG.
Gamesnya harus yang interaktif ya, Kak Diki ya.
Betul.
Mobile Legends atau PUBG begitu ya.
Nanti dites teman-teman di BTPN bisa bersaing nggak sama teman-teman mahasiswa?
Oh, di kita ada rutin, Kak Diki. Jadi di kita, mungkin Marta bisa cerita tuh. Jadi kita ada BTPN Club, itu yang selalu mengadakan rutin. Dulu pas pada saat masih WFO ya, kita rutin itu tiap sebulan, atau mungkin sekali atau apa, itu di satu aula gitu.
Oke,
kita adakan kompetisi. Iya.
Iya, kompetisi nih. Kompetisi SD lawan BTPN nanti.
Nanti bisa diatur nih sama Kak Marta nih.
Cerdas cermat, Pak.
Wah, siapa itu? Saya masih tadi mau lewatin Fikri udah lewatin.
Wow, yang paling atas sekarang Syahrul ya.
Wah, bergeser lagi.
Oh, Maswa di atas. Ini kayak klik ngeliatin klasemen Premier League nih, ganti-gantian.
Ini mungkin buat para player CM kalau zaman dulu ya.
Waduh, tua banget itu CM.
Ini ngeliatnya gini nih. Waduh, ketahuan ya dulu pemain CM nih.
Ketahuan itu pemainnya di.
Waktunya 10 detik lagi ya. Oke, aku tutup. Aku tutup ya dalam 3, 2, 1. Siapa nih yang menang? Oke, yang pertama Nisrina Naswa, yang kedua Syahrul, dan yang ketiga siapa ya? Nggak kelihatan. Maaf, Suryanti ya?
Suyateni.
Oke, boleh di screenshot ya teman-teman yang menang. Pemenangnya 5 teratas. Boleh di screenshot lalu menghubungi kontak person yang ada di room chat. Oke, jangan lupa di screenshot lalu menghubungi kontak person di room chat. Oke, makasih. Aku balikin lagi ke Kak Sarah.
Oke, thank you Regina udah nge-lead untuk games kali ini. Congratulations juga untuk para pemenang 5 teratas. Nanti dinikmatin aja hadiahnya dari panitia-panitia ini karena udah disiapin. Nanti tinggal di kontak aja kontak person yang udah ada di share di kolom chat. Nah, untuk penanya terbaik, teman-teman penanya terbaik nanti bakal dihubungin sama panitia. Jadi ditunggu aja chat dari panitianya, anggap aja kayak chat dari pacar. Ih, seneng banget nih dapat chat. Nanti itu ada hadiah nih buat teman-teman penanya terbaik. Aku ucapin selamat untuk seluruhnya yang belum dapat, misalnya belum dapat penanya terbaik atau belum menang nih games quizzes tadi. Nggak usah sedih, nggak usah gundah, karena masih banyak kesempatan lainnya kapan-kapan. Nah, dengan berakhirnya sesi games tadi, maka udah berakhirnya juga sesi kita, perjumpaan kita pada hari ini. Gak kerasa kita udah sampai di penghujung acara dan udah saatnya untuk kita berpisah nih teman-teman. I would like to say thanks for our speakers and moderator. Thank you Kak Diki, thank you Kak Kiryama, thank you Mbak Vivi. Ilmu yang kita dapetin hari ini benar-benar daging banget, benar-benar ngebuka pikiran kita tentang Japanese work culture, bahkan banyak sekali pelajaran kehidupan yang kita pelajarin. Semoga ini semua bermanfaat bagi kita. Amin, amin ya robbal alamin. Terima kasih juga untuk seluruh perwakilan dari Bank BTPN dan seluruh panitia yang udah bertugas. Terima kasih juga untuk seluruh participants yang udah bergabung sampai akhir di webinar kali ini. Jangan lupa untuk di screenshot sebagai bukti kegiatan dan diisi link presensinya sebagai bukti kehadiran. Itu udah di layar, udah ada barcode serta link presensinya, bisa langsung diisi, bisa langsung aja dimasukin screenshot bukti kehadiran hari ini. Webinar hari ini sekaligus menjadi penutup dari rangkaian acara webinar BTPN ABEST yang sudah dilaksanakan dari Oktober lalu. Semoga kita bisa bertemu di webinar-webinar selanjutnya di lain kesempatan. Aku Sarah Ardina, secara pribadi mohon maaf apabila ada kesalahan dalam bertutur dan berkata. Sampai di sini aja perjumpaan kita. Aku ucapin banyak-banyak terima kasih untuk semua yang udah ada di sini. Sarah Ardina undur diri. Sampai jumpa di webinar tahun depan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih semuanya.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih kepada ABEST, terima kasih Kakak Diki, terima kasih buat dosen-dosen SBIPB, terima kasih
teman-teman semua.
Thank you Mbak Vivi,
Pak Diki,
thank you Kiriyama-san.
Thank you Mbak Vivi.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Pak Diki, Kak Diki.
Terima kasih banyak Mbak Marta.
Next time do it in BTPN ya.
Oh
iya, nanti kita atur setelah ini Mas Deki dicatat ya.
Tentu saja. Semoga pandeminya bisa segera berakhir, benar-benar tuntas. Jadi kita bisa melakukannya secara offline begitu. Mungkin di Bank BTPN atau mungkin di SBIPB.
Atau mungkin di kantor pusat Sumitomo di Jepang.
Iya.
Oke.
Yang mana ya?
Iya benar.
Iya. Terima kasih Bu Nana, terima kasih.
Oke, makasih.
Terima kasih semuanya. Izin live.
Izin undur diri. Thank you very much everybody.
Terima kasih. Musiknya dipasang, musik startupnya.
Bantu nyalain musik. Semua